Heyo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Grandmaster, back at you with another video. Before we start this one, I just want to remind you, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Let's grow this channel together, and remember, never stop evolving. So today in this one, I've actually got my new kiln all set up. I'm going to show you guys a few little tips and tricks and just what the kiln is, and I've also gotten a rod holder I'm going to set up. I'll probably do a time lapse and see what my first impressions are on that. So this is going to be the temporary home for now. I might end up building out another table right here for the kiln, but for now this is going to be perfect for it. So when I first got it, I googled on YouTube and stuff for kiln setup videos, and all I could find were outdated videos, nothing super current. So I was kind of on my own when I was doing this, and I actually reached out to Dosh World. It was super cool to have somebody like him reply back to me, and he actually gave me a lot of tips about setting up a kiln and just advice on the AIM kilns in general, because I've seen him use them just throughout the last probably 2 or 3 years following him. So it was pretty cool and pretty special to have him actually communicate back with me and give me tips. He also has an actual Instagram live video on his page about the kiln setup and the program that he uses. So I went ahead and used that. I tweaked it just a little bit, but just as a starting point, that was a huge help to me. And as time goes on and I learn more, I'll tweak mine and figure out my own program that works for different glass. And I'll probably have to do a lot of research and maybe even take a class about, because the kiln science of that is all its own. But actually inside, moving on, it's got the first thing I've ever made with my new kiln. Oh man, huge shout out to the homie Hedgehog, Heady Boy. You know, I'm forgetting what his actual Instagram is, so I'll put it on the page, but I want to give him a huge shout out for asking me to make him this purple lollipop. I'm not going to take it out at the moment. I don't really feel like messing with that since I've got the camera and everything, but I'll get some really good pictures of that chain once I'm done. I'm going to add the clasp so that way it's removable and it's super good form fitting. So right now I'm currently at the end of my program. It was at 500 degrees and it crashed from there, so it just basically turned off and then it let itself cool. And I should actually step back. So that is the on switch and off switch. So when we come on, you've got 3 buttons and an LCD screen. And that's all we have to work with. You've got a set value and the current value. And then I figured out this is program. This is how you run a program. You hold the temperature if you'd like. You hold select to exit out of stuff. You hold it for 5 seconds or 8 seconds. And you go to this stat. You go down. And this is where you start doing programs. So I went to 1050 at a ramp up of 10 minutes. And I held it for an hour. Then I dropped down to 960 over the course of with a ramp of 2 hours, and I soaked for 30 minutes and I held it there. Then I went down to 500 over the course of an hour and a half and sat for 30 minutes, and after that it just crashed. And that is how I made my purple kiln. And that is how I made my first chain. That is the program I ran for it. That is how I annealed it. And that was a program all thanks to Dosh World. I tweaked it a little bit with the soaking and the ramping time, but he just put me miles ahead on the whole thing. So I really appreciate him for that. So now moving over, this is going to be the rack that I'm going to be using for the kiln. Shortly after I got it, I realized when I am working on it and I'm using the bead door, I have to have something support the rods when they come out. So I went ahead and invested and got the rod holder that didn't come with it, that goes with this kiln. Super great add-on. I'm super glad that I knew that, or I found out this exists. So I'll most likely just do a time lapse now and get it all set up. Alrighty, 30 minutes later, and it's a big success. One thing I will note, the brackets for the slider definitely did not line up. If you saw in the time lapse, it's kind of hard to tell how long it took. That took 30 minutes just to put this on, but those didn't line up. So it was like as if I was stripping it. Like I was definitely getting those screws on. So you saw me struggling with it, but hey, that was worth it. Got that all lined up perfect. So I feel real good about that. Does seem like it's gonna be a challenge trying to get this and flip it back up, but other than that, it seems pretty substantial. Really cool that it matches the same paint as this kiln. I'm gonna get my light. It does have a slight metallic shine to it. It's kind of cool. I don't know if it will come up on camera, but nah, it just looks matte. But hey, it's a kiln, does exactly what it's supposed to, cooks that glass. So other than that, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed that video. I'm gonna flip this around. Right now, I am just keeping myself on a roll. I wanna keep myself hustling, never stop evolving, keep that mentality in everything I do, and just keep an eye out, guys. I'm gonna keep the content coming. I've got 3 or 4 more chains to make, and after that, I'm probably gonna bang out some more Pokespheres, some more carb caps, spinner caps, and then just start freestyling, doing stuff that I enjoy with this kiln. The possibilities really are endless. So just being able to have that bead door opening and having that freedom, that artistic freedom to go in and out of a kiln rather than being a top loading kiln and relying on just like 1 or 2 moves and then sticking it in the kiln and being done. I could work days and days and days on a piece and continue to just reheat and cool down and reheat just with that bead door and doing different things. And having the actual Fuji controller rather than having an analog, game changer. I probably know 10% about that controller, but I know the 10% that I need it to work, and that is what is important. And as time goes on and I learn more about the actual kiln, I'll learn what I need to about it, because this kiln is capable of a lot, and I know very little, but I'm self-taught, and that's what it's all about. And that's why I want to create these videos, just so you guys can see the process and what I'm going through. And yeah, guys, smash that subscribe button. Remember, never stop evolving.
Grandmaster Glass.